Hey, what's up, everybody? Vinci again, Sun Services Garage. Today we're working on, well, today we worked on a whole bunch of stuff, but yeah, this is the one I'm doing actually, and it's evening. It's 7 p.m. right now. Yep, this is where I'm at the shop, like most of the time. Anyhow, let me start complaining. Yeah, we got a 2007 f-150 King Ranch. Really nice truck. Let me turn this camera around so you can stop looking at my face and get to the goods. Okay, there goes my other lift. It's up and working and making us some money. Yay! Okay, this is the King Ranch. 2007 F-150 King Ranch. You see it there. Nice truck. What's going on with it is the heater core is leaking. It's got loss of coolant. He also hears it slushing around inside the box, the air box down there. He hears the slushing back and forth in there. So obviously it's just falling into the box, and he says every once in a while he'll see it pour out of there. So I guess once it gets to a certain level, it'll pour out of it. But if not, it's pretty sealed up at the bottom of that box. So yep, it just stays in there and it slushes back and forth, and he's constantly got to be putting coolant in it. He gets the smell is coming out pretty heavy through the vents, and it also has a little bit of mist and then the really bad coolant smell. Yeah, so time for a heater core change. We're gonna do the heater core, probably the evaporator, and while we're in back there and stuff like that. So yeah, but this job, I'm sure everybody knows, it's pretty involved. Got to take off the entire dash. The entire dash gonna come out. Uh, right now, I'm just working on the center console. You can see I got all the stuff stacked up in the back over there. Center console. Then you gotta move the bottom portion of the center console. I already got that all bolted and loose, ready to pull it on back with the shifter. This is pretty much the same thing you'll be doing on most of them up to from probably about 2000, actually probably before that, late 90s. You'll still have to remove. It just changes up. This is probably from '04, '05, something like that on this type of model dash. But anyhow, got the panels on the side off. I'm just going to show you quickly here where these bolts for the side at. We have a couple of bolts there all around the top there. We got a couple of them that come from this bottom bracket here. You got another bracket that sits right here, hence why we have to take this thing here out in order to get to this bracket here that holds on to that too, and take that off. One of the main things is getting your steering column out. You take this cover down here. We're going to do that next, and then start taking apart the column. None of this is super difficult or takes, super level ace mechanic to do. It's just tedious, time consuming, and you want to, you know, go through it nice and meticulous so you don't break clips. A lot of these clips are so easy to break, especially on older ones that have already been brittle and stuff like that. And you want to take your time with it. You want to give the customer his truck back pretty much how you got it. So yeah, I'm just taking my time with it. This is why I'm here late evening, kind of just relaxing, listening to some music, start taking all this apart. I was gonna have my guy do it, but like I said, I've done this a lot more. I don't think he's ever done one of these dash removals, so I figured I'd just go ahead and remove the dash tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'll have him remove the box with the heater core in it and replace those things, and then kind of show him how to put everything back and go with it like that. This way we don't make sure we don't have anything broken that wasn't broken before we uh, when we got it, that is. Okay. Yeah, like I said, again, most of my videos I'm not gonna go through super tutorials or nothing like that. There's plenty of that stuff on YouTube already. I'm not here to try to make any money off of YouTube. I'm just here to give my 2 cents. Whoever wants it. But you guys are more than welcome to hit me up if you need schematics or a little more information on how to get through something, get through it, you know, do stuff. Some people want to bypass. We're in Florida, so a lot of people I get in would just bypass that and not want to do the heater core. But he works late nights and says he might as well get it done now. This way, in the winter time, he can actually use his heat, which makes sense. Get it fixed right. Okay. Here we have the center console all removed. Is all out the way. Yeah, this is why we have to get it out of the way, because you got these bolts that have to come out in order to remove the dash from this bracket that attaches to the floor. So yeah, we're gonna remove that. Down here you got a couple of bolts sit right in there, and those are gonna come out, because I usually like to take out this entire bracket here, just so when the dash starts dropping down it doesn't get all caught up in this, and you can bring it out. So I mean, 2 extra bolts, why the hell not? Okay. Alright, right now we're at the point where I got the steering column out. You see the whole steering column over there? Yeah. Okay, so the steering column's out. There's the plate that goes under here, the cover, a couple of bolts, 4 bolts, 2 bolts actually, to get that one out. The top just has regular clips. Then it's just getting this whole harness that's here. All this harness here is what's connected to your steering column, to all the accessories. Actually, remember to disconnect the battery from the car before you start any of this stuff. Everybody should know that, but some people might not. So before you do any work on the vehicle, especially any electrical work, always disconnect the negative on the battery. Alright, well, this is the harness. Stuff it in there. The steering column, there's a couple of bolts up on top of here. You can see there's the nuts that go on here. There's 4 big nuts. I think there are 13. I took those out. Then the steering column drops down, and you need to come over to the front end and disconnect it from I don't know if you can see it, but it's leaning at the bottom. You see that way down at the bottom there. Let's see if I can grab it. No, not high enough, and I don't have a ladder here, so yeah. Okay, but there it is down there. Yeah, I'll give you a little light. There it is. That little swivel, that joint there has a bolt that goes through it. You take that off, and then you'll be able to slide the column out. Before you do that, you want to make sure you mark it. Straighten out your steering, your wheels, and your steering wheel. Make sure it's nice and straight, and then mark it with a good permanent marker, or paint marker is what I use. Just so when you put it back in, it's aligned again, and your steering wheel ain't at 2 o'clock and your steering is at 12 o'clock. Okay, so just mark it before you pull it out, and here it is. And this is what I mean. See how I marked it? I have a mark on here, and then I have it marked over on the other point where it actually joins in. Then you put it right in there and put the bolts back in. The bolt looks like this. You can see it has Loctite on it. Yeah, some you don't want shaking loose. So yeah, put some Loctite on it. I usually reuse these, just a little Loctite on them, put them back in. One more thing, straight down in there with the shaft goes through. There's bearings right inside of here. Yeah, you can see it there when they're turning. These things dry up, break off, and all kind of stuff. So it might be a good idea now that you're here to check them out. If they're bad, order a set, put them on in there. It doesn't take too much. If they're good and you see that all the little pins are still there and everything like that, make sure you just lubricate it correctly before you put the shaft back in. Okay. Alright, here we got the dash down now. I showed earlier how to remove this harness from that harness there from the steering column. Yeah, so there's the steering column there. There we go. Okay, we have to get the steering column out, so I remove the harness and stuff there. I don't untab it from all of these little tabs and stuff like that. I don't find it as necessary. This is where I differ a little bit from the factory service manual or other people how they do it. Everybody has their preference, so you do how you feel like you want to do it, but this is what I do. I also remove the cluster. Don't really have to remove the cluster. I just find it to get in to the back here. Where are these tabs for the, here it is. Okay, these things are the covers that are at the back of the dash like that. Get in there. I have one of those little plastic tools to remove the clips and stuff like that. It's the best way to do it because these things break and you'll leave marks and everything on everything on here. So if you try to do it with a screwdriver, so get the little plastic pullers and stuff and body panel pullers or whatever you want to call it, and take it off that way. So once you get those off, in through here on this side, this is the driver's side, you'll have two bolts, two 13mm bolts, just like the ones that were on the side here that are holding the dash to the firewall. On that side, you're going to have the same thing. You see that panel there? Underneath that panel, you have one bolt, not two. So you have to remove that panel and get that. And I kind of just feel you can't really see back there because of the space between the glass and the dash. So it's kind of like feel your way through there. It's a 13. Put the thing down. And I have one of these fabulous Metco long neck ratchets, and it's perfect for that. All right, let me get on to the other side and show you what's going on with the wiring on this side, and kind of where I don't remove everything that a lot of people do or the factory tells you to do. Okay, so here we have it removed. These came out, that bolt on top, this here came out. This is the bracket at the front that I told you that I usually take off. It's just a lot easier when you take this off. This holds the whole dashboard up. This is so you remove this, the dashboard just drops right down, and then you can pull it out a lot easier. Like I said, I've done it with where I've taken it out, and I've done it where I haven't taken it out, and taking it out is always just easier. So I take it off all the time now, especially on these models, on these years. But back here, like I said, once you get this one off, this panel on top, you have this size, a smaller space, but there's only one bolt. Same thing, kind of feel your way around there and you'll get that bolt out. Then this whole thing will drop down. Now I can actually just, I don't know if you can see, but I can pull it way out. I got the seats as back as possible, but I usually don't need too much space to get to the box. There's your box. Okay, but where people always do is go underneath here before they remove the dash, and go underneath and take off all these harnesses and remove everything and then pry everything off. And you see right now where basically you need to take this one off and this one off. All these other clips and all that other stuff down there, you have the battery disconnected. You don't really need to mess with the fuse panel. You don't really need to mess with any of the other stuff, especially all these little tabs and stuff that you'll forget to put them back or won't know exactly where they go, and just leave it all there. Right now you can see exactly what you need. I'm going to take this one off, I'm going to take this one off, and I'm going to take this one off, and then pull it back another 3 or 4 inches, and that's basically all I need to get into the box here comfortably and remove and replace everything I need to remove and replace. Pretty much it, period.